we get too much in our feelings, for real. And it's not that I'm cold, it's not that I'm heartless, it's just that I've been seeing the game be played too many times and I'm getting tired of it. So I want a seat. I want to play too. I sure do. Okay, so I'm going to be doing my makeup and I'm going to be doing a lot of concentration on highlighting and contouring because it was requested. And in addition to that, we'll be discussing the topics that I put in the title because I don't remember everything that I want to talk about. So let's get it. Okay guys, so welcome back to my channel, and if it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Ashley. And for foundation, I'm going to be using the Smashbox Studio Skin Full Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. Okay. This is in the shade 4.05. Skin tone is dark. Undertone is warm peach. Alright, so I already primed my face. So yeah, let me just start. I watched the Red Table Talk with Jada and T.I. Tiny was there as well, and then there was another lady. I don't know who she is, but so if you're not aware of what's going on in the media right now, T.I. is under a firestorm because he made some very insensitive comments about his daughter Deja's hymen, virginity, and the feminists didn't like it. A lot of people didn't like it, and I didn't like it. So I just want to kind of give my opinions on what was discussed and hopefully give some advice. So T.I. was asked by, I think, TMZ or some reporter news outlet how he parents his kids in the current climate, you know, of everything that's going on in the world. And T.I. responded by saying, you know, he goes to the doctor with his daughter periodically or whatever to ensure that her hymen is still intact. So first of all, Jada was able to get through to T.I. how insensitive his comments are or were, and she asked him, like, what was he looking to accomplish by what he said, and he was like, you know, I just wasn't thinking that it was going to be taken, you know, so out of context. It was said in a jovial, joking manner, excuse me. And, you know, basically he just didn't know that it was going to go like this. For me, I just feel like it was a moment of selfishness, and I feel like T.I. was trying to showcase his control. It's all about control for me. Yeah, as a lot of people are saying, like, it did seem like a controlling type of thing. And the thing about it is, you know, when it comes to men, they just feel like our prized possession, which is our lady parts, belong to them. And I don't, for the life of me, I don't understand. Anyways, I guess I don't understand because I'm not a man. Just like men don't understand this type of stuff because they're men and we're women. But the next step I'm going to do is a little highlighting. So for highlighting, I'll be using the NARS concealer in medium dark 1.5. Yeah, it's a control thing for me. And like I was trying to explain before, every child is going to be different. And this little situation that has occurred between T.I. and his daughter Deja and their family is going to be something that she's not ever going to be able to forget. Now, of course she could forgive him, but every single thing that we do affects our kids. And I'm not saying like I'm the perfect parent or anything like that, but I've definitely learned different things from being a parent and what works and what does not work for my child. You know, everybody's child is not the same, basically. So learn your child, and, you know, it's really important to do things because it's in your heart to do them, because it just is who you are as a person and what you stand for and what you represent, as opposed to trying to impress an audience or make it seem like you have more than what you do, or trying to over show support because you are a celebrity and your time is pulled in many different, you are pulled in many different directions. So are you over trying to compensate? Are you overcompensating for that? And by saying something like this, it's just out of place, out of line. And T.I. already, he's felt the wrath of that. So I really don't feel the need to like beat a dead horse, for real. It's already past the point of outrage. It's already past the point of being, outraged. So now we got to come from a place of love and try to gain some understanding, some teachable moments, so that something like this does not happen again. And the way I kind of explained it last night was my daughter had a little stint where she wanted to play soccer, and I was being really supportive about it, as was my family. However, like I said, I'm a single mom, meaning that, her dad and I are no longer together. We're no longer married. So in that sense, I'm a single mom. She spends the majority of her time with me and my family. And so at that time, I felt as though I was overcompensating, for sure, because I was the one attending most of the games and stuff. I was too worried about what it was going to be perceived as for various different reasons. And if you know, then you know. If you can relate to what I'm saying, then you just know. You understand? The reality was I was embarrassing her and taking her out of her game and making it about me, which it took a while for me to understand that, because in that moment, that's not consciously what I was trying to do, but that is what happened. I had to talk to my daughter. The damage had already been done, but now I needed to learn something from it. Guys, just understand that's me. I try to, that's just the way I think, is by comparing things and stuff like that. So when I go off into a story, that's why. For her, it was like, she told me, like, Mommy, you make me feel so bad when I'm out there, and you make it seem like I did the worst thing in the world. And I'm like, okay, so the message that what I was trying to get across to her was not received because of my delivery. And that takes a lot. That takes a lot of growth as an individual. That takes a lot of love. For me, it's just like love. Like, my daughter is hurting from something that I did. It wasn't my intention to do that, but that's what happened. So I got to make it right. So you just got to correct that type of behavior. Hopefully she'll want to play another sport. But anyways, that's just kind of, how I relate to that. But of course, it's not something as serious as Hymengate, which they are now calling it. As far as T.I.'s demeanor and everything like that, I feel like it was pretty good. He was open to, but see, he knew that he was going to go somewhere where he was going to be heard, somewhere where he wasn't going to be attacked. And he said if that was the case, he wouldn't have even did it. The only person he would have done it with is Jada, which, fine. But the message did get across, so even though we're still angry about it, the message was received, and that's the most important thing. This is different when it comes to boys and girls. For one, because he said, if his son were to get someone pregnant, his house wouldn't really change that much. This is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Concealer, and this is in the color 460, okay? So he said, if his son were to get somebody pregnant, it wouldn't really change that much in his household. But if his daughter were to come home pregnant, his household would change immediately. And yes, this is true. And that's why men and women were different. We have different expectations. People have different expectations for us. What's accepted is different. How you look after something like that, it's all different. And really, to me, what it boils down to is the amount of embarrassment that you're going to bring on your family. And that's just what it is. And girls just have it harder when it comes to that. You're looked at as being fast and all these things, when really, maybe you just got caught up in the heat of the moment. Maybe you had feelings and you thought you were in love. Whatever the reason, it is just different. So he did admit that. And that's not his fault. That's just the way of the world. But going forward, I know that he knows that he cannot make statements like that again, ever. And so that was just part one. Part two is gonna be, I don't know, it looked like they were getting into T.I. and Tiny's relationship, and I am excited to see that, because the other thing that people were saying, you know, T.I., you probably going hard on Deja because you know the type of dude that you are in a relationship and what type of dude that you were growing up. And you don't want her to end up with someone like you. Which says a lot. You definitely don't want your kids growing up watching you be a womanizer. I'm not saying that T.I. is or is not. I'm just saying that's what's in the media. Like, you don't want your kids growing up learning that. That's learned behavior. Like, what? Because in the end, like, your daughters are going to resent you. Your sons are going to learn this type of behavior, and then the cycle continues. Now, some men see these things and then they say, I'm never going to be like that. But the majority of the time, that's exactly what happens. So it's just a learned behavior. So the cycle has to stop somewhere. And then it goes down to what Tiny accepts. Now, child, I don't even know. I guess I have to watch part two to give y'all my opinion on that. But from the snippet I saw, it was like, I guess they were playing Never Have I Ever or something like that. And I guess Tiny was saying she's never had extramarital affairs, like intimate extramarital affairs, the entire time they were married. Girl! And T.I. was like, and I have never lied on the Red Table Talk. So I guess, I don't know. I don't know. Like, if they have an open relationship, that's their business. But I really wish that it wasn't. I really wish they would be more careful about people seeing that. Because, like I said, you have kids. And that's just not how you want to. That's just not what you want to do when you have kids. Especially not out in the open. But that's why they got the big bucks, so they can pay for their kids to go to therapy and all that good stuff, right? Just to be real about it, I mean, that's just how it is. And now we're going to highlight with the Morphe Bake and Set Powder and Banana Rich. I like yellow tone baking powders, but I may end up going back to Laura Mercier because I had been using the RCMA powder, but it's just starting to make me look way too freaking ashy. So I'm gonna have to find something else. If y'all know of anything, let me know, please. Now, I already took a peek at my under eye just to make sure it wasn't, nothing was settling in the fine lines and wrinkles or whatever. And I try to keep my face very, very still while I'm baking, because wherever that powder goes is where that powder stays. I try to push the first layer in to my skin and then I lightly ease up, but definitely try to push that first layer into your skin. I do like that because it helps me flatten that surface out. And then I just take it right on the tip so I can do down my nose. And I go around the side of my nose too. And I make that connect right there. You don't want to leave it. So it ends up looking like these two little lines right here. Okay. And then I just take whatever's left and I just dab it on my forehead.
This part is not necessary for everyone, but if you want that really chiseled, defined look, you can do this to really shape out your cheekbones and make them pop.
Alright, so I'm going to let that chill. And then I'm going to let my camera cool down a little bit. Then we're going to come back so we can pull it all together, okay? Alright, so y'all, we about to do our little contouring. So we already did our liquid contour. So I just started using a new powder. So this is the MAC Sun Power Mineralize. Hold on, get that. Okay, Mineralized Skin Finish Powder. So I wanted something just more warm than what I was using previously. I was using the Fenty Beauty Cocoa Naughty, but honestly, this makes me look too muddy. I know it's a bronzer, but it just makes me look, excuse me, too muddy. Then I was using the Cover FX Perfector Face Palette Medium Deep, and I was using Majestic. So this is actually a blush, but I was using it to contour, which worked for me, but just a little bit too dark, so that's why I decided to go with the Sun Power. What am I talking about? Okay. So this is beautiful on me. Now, yeah, y'all. So honestly, this whole situation, if it doesn't show y'all, like, women, the power that you possess for real, I don't know what will. Look at the lengths that we go to protect this thing, right? Look at the lengths people go to get this thing, right? So we really have to remember that. And it seems like every time I'm online and I'm in comments and stuff, I see a whole bunch of girls saying like, oh yeah, I don't do that, I don't do this, I don't do that. Well, somebody doing it. Some of us are still getting got because these dudes still haven't learned that the V is the power. That's what, I mean, that's what it is. I've been preaching this for years, I feel like. But we don't always practice what we preach. And then sometimes the player gets played. And then sometimes you get played at your own game. And, you know, sometimes you fall in love. Sometimes the feelings get involved. You know, sometimes you just let the outside influences take over what it is that you had planned. And, you know, people play a good game. Like, alright, so I'm going back with that Morphe powder just to chisel that jawline, and then I'm gonna set everything so it's not gonna look like starky. But anyway, y'all, we just gotta be a little bit more careful because there's a lot of men out here that seem to be thinking that they are the prize when we are the prize, and they're teaching that they are the prize, and that's incorrect. In my world, that's incorrect. And so, look, I can jump to something else. Oh my god. So, I have to adjust the title. Yeah, like, it's just crazy to me how much stuff has changed in the last few years. Like, I don't know. Like I was telling somebody the other day, like she was saying, you know, she's having problems dating. She was asking me like, you know, where do you find guys and stuff like that. And I was like, girl, I don't be looking for guys. I do not be looking for guys. That's the thing. Guys, I'm not going to say they be looking for me, but they be choosing. And it seems like when I tell them what I expect, X, Y, and Z, they still somehow find a way to do the minimum or give me inconsistencies. But that's my fault too, because I bend and sway too much on what I said my standard was, and that's gotta stop. Honestly, People gotta date within their range, within their whatever it is that you have going on. You just need to date within that realm, because when you try to date up, or what you consider to be up, and you're not all the way equipped to do so, that's a problem. And then eventually, oh, this blush is Burnt Pepper by MAC. Yeah, when you try to date up, like what I noticed, let me just tell you this. From what I've noticed from experience, guys will date up and they'll be like, oh my God, you are the best thing since sliced bread. I have never had anybody that looks as good as you. I mean, and if you've heard this before, then you can attest. You know, oh my God, I didn't even think you were going to respond. Oh my goodness. And see, that's the problem right there. When they say, I didn't even think you were going to respond, that is a red flag, because that is letting you know this dude didn't even really think he could get you, but you responded. So are you as up there as you thought you were if you responded to me? Or are you as up there as I thought you were if you responded to me? And that's just based on his own sense of self. I didn't say anything. He said it, right? So then you have to wonder, okay, so you didn't even think I was going to respond. Okay, because I look too good. From your mouth, not from my mouth, from your mouth. Okay, cool. So I did respond. So now what? So now they got to go off of survival to keep you, because now they've put themselves in a league where they may not really even be, and they may put on a good front, and I mean a good front, and they fronting on everybody, not just you. They fronting on you, your family, their friends, their acquaintances, everybody they meet, talking about you, talking about you, talking about you, hyping you, hyping you, hyping you up. So that can confuse a person. That can really confuse a person when it comes down to it, and you find out, oh, this person is not what what they said they were. This person is not who they acted like they were. So when you get to that point and you're already like, okay, well, you know, I don't know if this is going to work out. You know, I've noticed X, Y, and Z. When you tell them you've noticed X, Y, and Z, that's when they start tweaking and adjusting things to fix whatever you've pointed out. Okay, so once they do that and you watch them for a while and it seems like they're back consistent or whatever, it's like, okay, cool, well, you know, nobody's perfect. Then we start the nobody's perfect whole shtick. And then so we're like, well, I have flaws too. Da, 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 da. The difference is you said what your flaws were from the get-go, from the door. This person is parading around in a mask trying to fool everybody. Now, the thing that pisses me and most other women off about this is when you know you're not for everybody, and you try to change things and do things a little bit differently, and you still get the same outcome, that's enough to piss somebody off. Or when you've gone down on your standards of what you accept, and people's standards are their standards, like, period. Like, their standards are that way for a reason. But when you've kind of bended and changed a little bit when you didn't really want to, and you didn't really have to accommodate this other person, and then you still get played, it's like, okay, wait a minute. And when the person is acting like their world doesn't spin without you, and, you know, I want to be around you all the time, I want to talk to you all the time, and then you're doing that, and then it still ends in the way it ends, and it's just like, what? And it makes you think about the time that has gone by. Why did I have to tell you to change so many things if this is who you were? You understand what I'm saying? So Yeah. I understand that nobody is perfect. I get that. And I swear, from the beginning of time, I say that. And the fact that I'm able to sit back and reflect and think about the things that I've done wrong and fix those things and be a better person for myself and then for other people, I don't think that in a man's mind that it works that way. I think that men tend to fix whatever it is that the girl is complaining about at the time to shut her up. And then, but they really were, this is just who they were. They just put on a front as if they were somebody else and had you fooled. And that's what leads me to the way that I move and why I move the way I move. Because it's just a never-ending game that I'm tired of playing. Okay, this is the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. And this is why I say women should be compensated for their time. This is why I say, because it's like we already know when y'all be BSing us. We already know when things change. We already know all that. And it really sucks when you have a woman who does not share her time with a lot of people, does not share a lot of things with a lot of personal things with a lot of people, and then you find a way to manipulate that, and it just never seems to work out. It never seems to work out, and in the end it makes you look like a complete jackass. And then sometimes, and then it just goes on like that. It goes on and on and on like that. The next woman will have to deal with the same thing. And it's just always going to be that way. And then that guy will never feel that until he gets up in his years and he's looking for somebody to settle down with. And the choices are skim because he's played with women his entire life. That is the saddest thing I've ever heard. And then it's like you got to hope that this woman that was supposedly your everything is still available for you after everything is said and done, because out of your own mouth she's the baddest bitch, right? Yeah, the guys who, you know, end up playing you, end up making you look like a complete jackass in themselves, and then they go on and act as if you've done something to them when all you've done is try to support them, try to understand them, try to work with them, try to honor them, okay? You know, taking time away from your goals and aspirations. That's why in relationships, the woman is supposed to be taken care of financially, because we are the ones that typically put a lot to the side to maintain a relationship and to maintain ourselves for you guys. It takes a lot to do that, and it takes a lot of time, and it really truly does, and nobody understands that better than women. But to be at your very best, you can't be doing the most. You can't be stressed out at work. You can't be all these things, because you will get played in the end. You really will. You gotta be everything that man needs you to be. And in exchange for that, all we are asking for is compensation. Like, as in, I don't work. If I don't want to. It's always a choice. And that's not to say that, you know, we are inappreciative. The appreciation can be shown, but you gotta get me there. You gotta get me there. You can't be doing minimal and expecting the most. Like, that's not how it works. And when guys stop thinking that they are the prize, they'll be able to get what they truly want, because they'll be giving what their woman really needs to make her truly happy and stress-free. And that way she can make her man truly happy and stress-free. If not, all you're gonna do is hear her mouth all the time. And when a woman stops talking is when you need to be worried. I don't know where I left off at, but this is the finished product, you guys. I did not do the eye look on camera because this was supposed to be a highlighting and contouring video. Like I said, it was requested by one of my lovely subscribers, so thank you for requesting this. You guys know I love to do my makeup, but I also wanted to talk about those topics too because they was on my heart, girl. And you know, just ladies, don't forget the power of the P, okay? We need to stop forgetting our power. We need to stop caving into our, you know, somebody doing a little something nice for us. When someone is doing a little something nice for you, but you know they have the means to do better for you, then just don't give them what they want, because then that means they won and they cheated you and they beat you at a game, and you feel like you've been hit over the head, because if you could do better, then do it. And don't feel bad because you want better for yourself. Don't feel bad because you've leveled yourself up to a beautiful queen, a beautiful flower, a beautiful whatever, and you expect nothing but the best. There's a reason why certain people have the best. It's because they demanded it. And if they weren't going to get it, then they're just going to leave. I think that's the problem. We get too much in our feelings, for real. And it's not that I'm cold, it's not that I'm heartless, it's just that I've been seeing the game be played too many times and I'm getting tired of it. So I want a seat. I want to play too. I sure do. Y'all gonna stop playing with me, okay? If you guys have any video topics that you want me to talk about, or makeup looks, or anything that you specifically want me to talk about, let me know. Follow me on Instagram, DM me. I am rebuilding my Instagram, so girl, just come through. I don't know what's going on with it right now, but just come through and subscribe to this video, turn on your post notifications, and yeah, check the description box if you want any further details or ways on how to contact me. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. And another thing, if you're getting played and you just found out you was getting played, now you have to assess yourself, but a lot of times you're not the reason you're getting played. So don't take it as a personal thing, especially if you know you leveled up and you know all that good stuff. You're looking good, take care of yourself, take care of your home, XYZ. It's not necessarily your fault. So please stop sitting over there in a funk. Stop sitting over there eating a pint of ice cream. No, take your ass to the gym. Get you some new clothes, some new shoes, whatever you gotta do to level yourself up even more. Okay? And keep it moving. Like, you don't have time to sit around and think about what could have been, what should have been. Either you're gonna fix it or you're not. So don't cut yourself off. Don't stunt your growth process by reliving something that happened 50 million times. I know it's hard. Trust me, I know it's hard. Especially when you've been in a relationship for years. For those people who have been in relationships for 12 years or whatever, at some point you probably lost yourself in those situations. So level yourself up. If you don't know how to do that, hit me up. But anytime you break up, you should be leveling yourself up so that you can attract better than what you had previously. I really believe in that. And you know, sometimes people just choose the wrong target. Sometimes you chose the wrong target. Sometimes he chose the wrong target. Maybe he chose somebody that he knew damn well he had no business being with at that time. But if that person levels themselves up, they could probably get whoever they want. And if you level yourself up, you can get whoever you want. Okay? So please don't be letting these little relationships cripple you and all that. Please don't be getting lost in a man to the point where you can't even complete your day-to-day functions. And don't be embarrassed. If you're there, if you're in that place, it's okay. We all been there. But I want to help you get out of that place and know that you can get out here and be a badass bitch. And there's plenty of fish in the sea, baby. Plenty of fish in the sea. The only thing is, when a man loses a good woman, he will always feel that because he will always be trying to chase after her. And he will never find her in another woman. And you have to know that. So get wherever you need to get in order to feel that way about yourself. And that way you'll be able to walk from a relationship feeling like, okay, well, it was what it was. We taught each other something and now I can move on. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting there beating yourself up for a long, long time. I'll give you guys a short story. This is not really my story to tell, but I'm going to tell it anyway. When I was getting my hair done last week, there was a lady to the left of me, and she wouldn't look at herself in the mirror. She was like really, you could tell she had been like chewing up her fingers, and it just wasn't a good situation. I just got that vibe from her. So when she left and everything, you know, she was able to look in the mirror. She had a cute little cut, and the hairstylist who also did my hair was like, oh, look at you, you look so pretty, look at your hair, all this stuff. And the lady was like, well, I haven't really wanted to look at myself lately. And I was like, what the hell? But come to find out, she was married for 12 years or something like that, and her husband just kicked her out one day for a younger chick. Just kicked her out, and she has been wearing her hair, it has grown into dreadlocks. And this was not someone who naturally grows dreadlocks in their hair, if you understand what I'm saying. So that level of depression is very, very serious. It's almost borderline suicidal, I think. But to let yourself go in such a way, and this is not to make her feel bad, but you have to take your power back. And so thank God that she had loving family members that were making her get her hair done and, you know, forced her to do that, because something like that can mean so much to someone who hasn't even looked at themselves in a year, because obviously she got so lost into that relationship in love that she felt secure and safe, as a woman should when she marries a man, and she got left, and for a younger woman. You know, that man probably thinks that, you know, he really hit the, you know, the jackpot this time, but karma works in a very funny way. And I can see how, now I don't know if he has money or what, but I get the feeling that he did have money. So that younger girl probably will use him and leave him as well until she finds a bigger fish. So that man may feel like he has found himself a prize, and you know, he will want to come back home eventually to someone who hopefully is not there anymore, who hopefully realizes her self-worth now and can go and get what she truly deserves. And so that just really, 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 really spoke volumes to me that day. And it was like, wow. And it was crazy because I, that day, had, you know, severed ties with someone that I was dating. And not that day, but I was supposed to, well, we had just broken up or whatever. But it was crazy to see where I was in a breakup and where she was. Now, granted, I know she was married. I know all that, but it just was interesting to see, and it was sad. And had I sat down sooner and kind of gotten the gist of what was going on, I probably could have changed that woman's life in about 10 minutes. But thank God that Portia was able to get her back to a place where she can look at herself and feel okay about the woman she's looking at. And I hope that she's going to be able to let that situation go and move forward. I'm telling you guys, anything that makes you feel that way was not for you in the first place. And until you understand that fully, you will be suffering. But God won't give you anything like that and call it love. He just won't. Yeah, I'm gonna stop here because I've been rambling for a long time. But you guys, I hope you got something from this video, and please comment down below. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.